Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Liallure here, and I'm back at it again with another video. If you're new to my channel, hey girl, hey, my name is Leah. I make videos, story times, hauls. I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So it's like for the kids, you know the rhymes. And if you're a returning subscriber, hey friend, how are you? I hope you're doing wonderful, fabulous, beautiful, amazing. Before we get started with this video, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Liking this video helps me a lot. It helps other people see my video and help me get into the algorithm so that other people can know me and subscribe to my channels and subscribe to the shenanigans, you know what I'm saying? Help me grow. Help us grow, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to 5K by the end of the month, so help your girl out. Anyway, so today's video is going to be a story time, and this is going to be a story time similar to the last, well, honestly, I don't know what my uploading schedule is like, but a few videos ago I posted about like the toxic relationship that I had with an older man, and a lot of you guys were very receptive to that video. A lot of y'all were like, oh my god, I had been in this situation before, and some of y'all had been in an even worse situation than me, baby, an even worse situation. But all in all, what I took from that video is that a lot of my subscribers, not only are y'all much younger than me, but a lot of y'all learn from my videos, which is honestly, when I started doing YouTube, I didn't know I was going to end up being like mostly a storytime channel. It is what it is. I've always been a good storyteller, to be honest with y'all, but I didn't know I was going to be a storytime channel. But I did think that if I ever ended up being a storytime channel, the one thing I want you guys to do is to learn from me. Don't do as I do. Don't do as I do. Learn from my mistakes. So I don't tell these stories because I'm proud of anything that happened in my past or whatever, but because I want you guys to learn from it. And I don't believe that you should learn from making your own mistakes. I think that you learn from like listening to other people's mistakes and being like, oh yeah, you were wilding. Because I was, and I'm not gonna lie. Somebody commented that it was given fast tail little girl in my story, and it definitely was given fast tail little girl, because a lot of things, like, I should not have done it, you know what I mean? If somebody had told me back then, like, listen, I've been in your spot before, I've been in your shoes before, like, run away quickly, I don't think that I would have been in that situation. Because one thing about me, I'm a very logical person. If you're telling me that that you're speaking out of experience about something that I'm currently experiencing, and you don't think it's a good idea, I would stop doing it. Because honestly, what do I gain from staying in a situation that's gonna hurt me? Oh, a lesson? Oh no. If you're telling me you've been in my shoes before and it's a bad idea, I'm gonna skate. I'm gonna skate, period. I'm glad you guys could have learned from that story time, but I also unfortunately have about 2 more stories that are very similar to that, about like dating or being in situations with older men. And so even though looking back at it, I'm like embarrassed that I ever let myself do stuff like that or be involved with people like that, at the end of the day, if you guys are learning from it, then that's all that matters to me. You know, I did stupid things when I was younger, and I take full responsibility for that. But if I could tell this story and get somebody to not do what I was doing, then great, amazing, love that for me. So this story time is about the time that I was in a situationship with an older man, and this man was much older than the last one. Okay, much older than the last one. Of course, this story happens back in high school, because y'all know I was doing the most in high school. I was doing the absolute most in high school. Like, anyway, the story happens back in high school. I don't remember exactly when it happened. I'm gonna look back into like Facebook to see when exactly I started talking to him, but if I'm correct, it happened in my senior year, I think. So around the time this happened, I wasn't in a relationship. Like, I really wasn't doing anything with any guy. And when I say doing anything, I mean I wasn't talking to anyone. I wasn't trying to be in a relationship. I wasn't open to being in a relationship. No, nothing like that. So I was just minding my business, and I was trying to get out my high school. My high school, I hated it so much. I know a lot of people that I went to high school with watch my story times. Hey y'all. But I hated my high school because it was so small. And when I say small, like, it was small. It literally was 1 floor, and my graduating class was about like 15 kids. I cannot make this up. 15 kids. Crazy. So of course, you know, there was a lot of drama. Everybody was in everybody's business, and so I really wanted to avoid that as much as possible and just get myself out the school and into college. That's it. By my senior year, I already knew that I wanted to go to Syracuse for college. Like, had already applied. It was what it was, okay? So a lot of my time was spent alone, minding my business. I should doing what I want to do, because at that time I had already had all the credits that I needed to graduate high school. By January of my senior year, I wasn't doing anything. It wasn't because I didn't want to do schoolwork or I was being lazy or nothing like that. I literally had nothing to do. Like, there was no class they could put me in. My school was only one floor, like I told y'all, so they had the bare minimum of classes: chemistry, living environment, algebra, pre-calc. All the classes that's bare minimum for high school, that's what they had. They didn't have like robotics or anything that I could be involved in. I had all my credits and more what I needed to graduate high school. Now, I say all this to say that a lot of my time was spent on the computer. Whether that was while I was in school, they would just put us in a computer room and be like, ball out, do what you want to do. Or when I was home, I was on a computer. Now, if you're not new to my channel, you know that I'm going to say what I'm going to say right now, which is, at the time when I was in high school, Facebook was the thing that a lot of people do. I know that right now the girls are on TikTok and the girls are, you know, somewhat still on Instagram. But when I was younger, everybody was on Facebook. Like, there was Facebook teams, like Facebook Famous, Finally Famous, all these teams that held like these like team pasta parties and stuff like that. I was never involved in none of that. Let's be clear. I was never involved in none of that. I had no appeal. It wasn't amusing to me. I had no interest, okay? I was doing things I wasn't supposed to do, but I was never in trouble. I was never messy. I was never nothing like that. All of my trouble came from making internet friends and boyfriends. That's where my trouble came from. So that's the backstory on what I was like in high school. So I remember one day I was on Facebook, of course, when I got home, and I received a Facebook friend request. Now, at the time, everybody, like I said, was on Facebook. So the thing was to have the most friends on Facebook. Everybody wanted to have the most friends. Like, somebody would send you a friend request and you would just accept it. It don't matter if you knew that person physically, if you've ever met them, if you went to school with them, you knew a friend of a friend of a friend. It don't matter. If somebody sent you a friend request, you would accept it because you wanted to have one of the most Facebook friends. It didn't make any sense, because why would I want to keep up with your life if I don't know you? But at the time, that's what we did. So that's what, somebody sent me a friend request, I'm gonna accept it. As you could probably imagine, most of my Facebook requests came from guys, and it was a lot of guys I didn't know from a hole in the wall. Guys from schools nearby, guys from Brooklyn, guys from Queens, Like, we had, most of the time we had mutual friends, but sometimes it was like, I really don't know you from nowhere. Now, one day I get a friend request from a guy, and we're gonna call him Roblox, because he had a big old head. So one day I get a request from this guy named Roblox, and I don't pay any attention because, like I said, I accept it and I go. I'm not interested. I'm not looking for anything. I don't care who you are. So Roblox didn't say anything right away as he requested me, and I accepted it. 24 hours go by, we don't say nothing to each other. Next day I get a message from him, and he's like, oh, hey, beautiful. And I'm like, hi. Very dry. He's like, how are you? What's up? What you doing? I understand why people start off conversations like that with somebody they don't know. What do you mean, what's up? How are you? What you doing? I'm not doing anything. Who are you? I don't get it. So I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'm chilling, Somehow we end up having a conversation. Now, mind you, this conversation was very calm. It didn't, you know, we weren't really talking about anything. It was more like, oh, what you doing? Watching Harry Potter? Oh, that's cool. I never watched Harry Potter. Slowly but surely, he started to tease me. And when I say tease me, it was like make fun of me, kind of. And then after that, we started getting into like who each other are, basically. So I remember he was like, oh, you're mad pretty, and I'm like, thank you. So I go on his profile out of curiosity, because I'm like, who is this man? I go on his profile, and his profile picture, let me describe to y'all what this man looks like. He had a big old head, like I said. He was about like my skin complexion, but like a little bit darker. He had these huge bug eyes, like huge bug eyes. And in his Facebook picture, I still remember to this day, he had on a blue polo hat with a red polo horse, and he had on a polo varsity shirt. It was blue and yellow. I remember this. Don't ask me why I know stuff like this. I just do. But anyway, that's what he had on his picture. And even though he seemed seemingly young, he seemed like young and old at the same time. You know what I mean? I could tell that this was somebody who was like kind of in his youth, but at the same time, it very much gave me, I had student loans. You know what I'm saying? I own a house and a mortgage. I got 3 kids and a wife, possibly. So I look at his information, and it's like, yeah, this man is 27. 27. Now, remember how I told y'all in the last story time with the guy that I was dating that was 21? I was like, what do you want from me? You're so much older than me. What do you want from me? What can I possibly offer you that you want from me? I'm in high school. What do you want from me? So now I'm like, okay, we're not gonna do this again. Like, what? No. Because I did learn from the last time. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I learned from the last time. So I was like, yeah, no, we're not gonna do this. So I see that he's 27. I'm like, bro, you're literally 10 years older than me. Because I was 17 at this point. You are 10 years older than me. What do you want from me? So some other stuff to mention about him that I noticed on his profile was like he's Guyanese and stuff like that, whatever, it doesn't matter. So go back to our conversation and I'm like, I see that you're 27, like, you know I'm 17, right? He's like,
oh yeah, I know you're 17.
And what did I tell y'all? What's the famous one-liner?
But you seem mature for your age.
You don't know me. You don't know me. What do you mean I seem mature for my age? For all you know, I got Barbie dolls in my room. What are you talking about? At the time, I literally had like 6 stuffed animals on my bed. I wasn't playing with them, but they were there for comfort. What do you mean I seem mature for my age? Tell me more. What are you talking about? I remember I told him, I was like, what do you mean I seem mature for my age? Like, you don't know me. Like, what are you saying right now? So he was like,
oh, just the way you carry yourself. You're not on no messy stuff on your Facebook page. Your pictures are very clean. You're not doing no shit. I know young girls your age are usually doing some shit.
Now, how do you know that? Yeah, but how do you know? How do you know that young girls my age are usually on some shit? But we gonna get to that. So I'm like, okay, but what do you want from me? Like, why are you in my inbox? Why did you send me a friend request? He's like,
oh, I just thought you were pretty, so I just added you. I'm not looking for nothing.
All right, whatever. So I stopped talking to him because like we have nothing in common, and I know how stuff like this goes. I always say, I'm not looking for nothing. I just thought you were cute, so I wanted to add you. Nothing is gonna happen between us. But then they always spin the block. They always spin the block and come back and be like, oh, so what's up with you? What's up with you? Come chill with me. Like, you're not gonna lick me, They always do stuff like that. So at the end of the day, you telling me you don't want nothing, you're not looking for nothing, you just thought I was cute, you're lying. You are a liar. You like to cap. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I stopped talking to him. And he would literally like hit me up frequently, but it would be like short conversations at first. At first, it was like, what you doing? How was your day? How was school? And I would answer him. But like I said, the conversations, they really didn't go nowhere. So it's not like we were talking like for 24 hours in a day. It was nothing like that. So I remember like the more he would hit me up, the more we would talk for longer. So say at first, like he would hit me up and we would talk for like 10 minutes on Facebook. Next time he talked to me, we would talk for like 12 minutes. And then after that, eventually we would talk for like maybe, I want to say at max 30 minutes at a time. Because literally he was so annoying, but I'm going to get to that part. So I remember he used to like tease me a lot. He used to be like, oh, if I said like, if I told him like, oh, me and my mom are like not seeing eye to eye right now, or we're like in an argument, or he would be like,
oh, it's because you're a baby. It's because you're a baby. You don't understand parents,
Yes, I'm a baby. Yes, I'm 17. Again, why are you here? Why are you trying to talk to me? You know this about me, right? You know this about me. So why are you here at your big age? He's like talking to me. He's like, oh, you're a baby. And it got on my nerves because I'm like, yes, you know I'm young, and yet you still insist on talking to me. Like, I don't understand what this is about. So at first, this man was not on no weird like creep shit. It was creep shit already because of his age and my age, but at the same time he wasn't trying to be like sexual with me or explicit or nothing like that until he was. Now this guy, at some point, I want to say like a month in or something like that, he would start asking me to link, right? He'd be like, oh, when are you gonna come over, come see me, we can hang out, this, that, and third. I would always be like, nah, I'm cool, like I don't want to do that, don't worry about it, He was like, oh, but why? Like, we could just chill, it's not gonna be anything, are you scared? And I was like, bruh, whew. As I'm saying this story right now, I'm getting so triggered because this should have never happened. But he's like, are you scared? And I'm like, scared of what? Like, what should I be scared of? And he was like this big black.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
What are you talking about? How did we end up in a conversation from what I'm doing laundry, so you telling me I'm scared of whatever it is that you're working with? There was no transition into this conversation. So you telling me this means that you just wanted to bring up this conversation. You're nasty. I was like, oh yeah, no, it's not even like that, but I'm not even on that type of timing with you. But yeah, I was like, I'm not even on that type of timing with you. Like, why are you bringing this up? He's like, oh, I'm just joking. Okay. So then it became more frequent, like him bringing up stuff like this and having this conversation with me. It became way more frequent. I became way more like uncomfortable by the conversation, because why do you think this is appropriate? We're just cool. Like, we're not even friends, we're just cool. Like, why are you having this conversation with me? No, no. So it became more and more frequent, and I'm like, you need to stop having this conversation with me. It's weird. Now, I want to say this because I'm very open and honest with y'all, and I'm gonna tell a story honestly. We had a conversation one time where he asked me, he was like, oh, can I ask you one question though? And I'm like, is it gonna be some weird shit because you always on that type? He was like, oh, it is, but it's just one question. Like, I'm really not gonna take it nowhere. So I was like, what? Like what do you want to know? He was like,
are you a virgin?
so I'm like, yeah, what about it? He was like,
oh, that's funny. I think that's so interesting because girls your age are usually not virgins. When I was your age, girls used to hold it together and girls didn't used to do all the stuff y'all doing now. But now y'all some freak. Y'all like to do grown shit. Y'all like to do this. Y'all like to do that.
Again, it begs the question, why do you know this? Why do you know this? You're 27. There's no way in hell you should be messing with any teenagers. How do you know this? I beg, how? So I remember, like, I asked him one day and I was like, why do you always bring up stuff like this, and how do you know that girls my age are like this? Like, what is this about? He was telling me,
oh yeah, my ex was your age and she used to be on timing more than I was, and she used to want to do crazy stuff, and the only reason we broke up is because her parents found out. He said he was gonna pull out something on me, and he even found me one day in her bedroom, this, that, and the third. Why? The only question I had in my head was why? Why are you, number one, messing with a girl who's my age? Okay, why were you doing that? Number two, why were you in her bedroom at her parents' house? Because you know she don't live by herself. You're weird and you need to be jailed. You need to be jailed. And I remember I straight up told him, you're a predator. I told him, I was like, you're a predator because you're dead ass, like, what, at this time 25, and this girl is 15, 16, and you're still messing with her, having relations with her. You're nasty and you need to be jailed. So after he told me that, I stopped talking to him completely, literally for like months. I graduated and I had not talked to this man at all because I was like, yeah, that's what we're not gonna do. Even though I was firmly planted in the belief that I was gonna do anything with him and I wasn't interested in him, I still was just like, I want no parts of you. I don't want to know you. You're nasty. You're no one I want to know. So after that, like, I stopped talking to him for months at a time, even after I graduated. So when I was in my freshman year, I of course started college, and I remember one day he hit me up. He was like, hi stranger, you still don't want to talk to me, da da da, with the sad face. You're a grown man. You are a grown man. But he was like, oh, you still don't want to talk to me? And I was like, it's not even like that. I just told you I don't like the stuff you be doing. And he was like, oh, okay, like, I'm sorry, but it's my past, this, that, and the third.
Whatever. So then he started asking me about college, and I'm one-wording him. It's fine. I'm good. Don't worry about it. Yeah, psychology. Like, that's it. Literally. No conversations. And the more and more he would talk to me, the more I would, like, ease into talking to him back. And he was like, I remember one day I was supposed to go on a trip with my friends, and it was for spring break. So he was like, oh, like, where are you going? And I was like, Las Vegas, maybe. And he was like,
oh, you're going to Vegas? I was there recently.
Then he opens his mouth and says,
you better be a virgin when you come back.
Sir, I beg of you, what do you call yourself being? The protector? What do you call yourself being? The virgin vigilante? Like, what is going on? Not only that, but why is that your concern? Because you know I'm not interested in you. You know it's never gonna happen. You know I don't like you like that. Back the off. Back off. So he was like, oh yeah, you better be a virgin. And I stopped talking to him. I literally stopped talking to him after that. I was like, yeah, you're weird. That's weird. So after that, we stopped talking to each other again, and it became this cycle of like me stopping to talk to him, and he would like ease back into my life, and I would fold and I would start talking to him again, and he would continue until he said some weird shit again that would make me stop talking to him. Now this continued to happen up until my sophomore year of college. So I started talking to this man senior year, and I stopped talking to him in my sophomore year. Now in my sophomore year, I got a boyfriend, and this boyfriend's gonna have his own story time, and it's probably gonna be a 3-parter because it's a very, very long story, and it's more complicated than you guys would ever expect me to open my mouth and say. Like, this situation is the reason I am the way I am right now, but that's another story. So all I'm gonna say about this guy is that he was very protective of me, and he was in the military, so you know he was not playing about his, period. So at the time I was talking to him a lot. Like, that's my man, we like this. And at the time I wasn't talking to Roblox. Like, I really wasn't speaking to him at all. So one day he hits me up in my Instagram DMs,
and he hits me up from an account that wasn't his original account because I had blocked him after the last time we spoke. I blocked him. So he hit me up from that account and he was like, hey stranger, how you doing? And at first, because I couldn't see his picture, I was like, who is this? He's like,
oh, it's me, Roblox.
Like, it's me. Who did you think it was? I'm like, bro, why are you here? Why are you hitting me up? At this point, I'm irritated. I'm annoyed. Now I really don't want to talk to you, and I really want to know why you in my face. I want to know. So he's like, oh, I just wanted to see what's up with you. I just wanted to check in with you, da-da-da-da. Why this man is trying to check in with me is beyond me. I don't know. I don't owe you anything. You don't owe me anything. Why are you trying to check in with me? So he's like, oh, I just wanted to see how my friend was doing, my longtime friend. Why you acting like that, this, that, and third? Like, you're a weirdo. Stop it. So I'm like, you need to stop talking to me because you're a predator, you're weird, and you've been on my case for 3 years now. Leave me alone. No matter how many accounts I block you on, you always seem to come back, and it's very much given obsessed and stalker. Stop. So then after that, like, he literally, because I think because he felt like I was like dead serious at that point about not speaking to him, he became more and more aggressive. He was like,
oh, why you acting like that? Y'all your age always think they better than somebody. You think you got something to offer somebody. Y'all don't even be that good.
Literally popping off at the mouth, talking so recklessly to me, and the whole time I'm not responding. I'm not engaging in this conversation. This man is having a manic episode. Like, he's literally just talking and talking and talking to himself in my inbox and just going off and off and off and off. And it's like every message he sends to me becomes more vulgar and more aggressive. And it's like, no, this is what we're not gonna do. Absolutely not. It wasn't until he said something that really made my skin crawl that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get my boyfriend on you. It's about that time. Now, I'm not really the person who like, I'm gonna call my boyfriend, I'm gonna get my boyfriend, he's gonna do this, he's gonna do that. I can handle my own. I've always been able to handle my own. You better believe that. I've always been able to handle my own. However, with this guy, I realized that he really wasn't gonna stop until somebody intervened in the situation. Because like I said, no matter how many times I blocked him, he would always come back, you know? So, and at this time, Instagram didn't have the setting that would allow you to like block somebody who creates any account using their email or phone number. So at that point, he would always come back, and I was like, yeah, I have to say something about this, because the thing he said to me literally made my skin crawl. I was so disgusted. I was so disgusted at what this man said. And I'm not gonna say it in this video because I feel like it might be triggering to some people, because even when I think about it, like, it makes me uncomfortable. So I don't want to say this to somebody and trigger them either. Yeah, so I basically was like, yeah, I have to say something about this because this just made me so uncomfortable, and like, I never want to hear anybody say anything like that to me ever again. So I told my boyfriend about the situation, because like I said, as he was arguing in my inbox, this had only been happening for about like an hour or two, and I was ignoring it because I was like, I can handle it on my own. Now, when he said what he said, I decided to get my boyfriend on him. So I showed my boyfriend the screenshots, and I was like, yo, like, this is making me so uncomfortable. Like, I don't know what to do, because no matter how many times I block him, he always comes back. So my boyfriend was like, let me handle it. My boyfriend gets into my Instagram account and he's blacking on him. He's like, when I find you, I'm gonna violate you. I'm gonna violate you. And my boyfriend gave him his full name. He was like, this is my name, first name, last name. This is where I'm based right now. If you want it, come get it, because I want it. I want all the smoke. And all he said was, LOL, whatever, nigga. And then he stopped talking to me. That was it. That was literally it. All it took was my boyfriend to be like, when I see you, I'm gonna violate you. And for him to stop. That's it. That's literally it. Because he didn't want it. He didn't want it, okay? My boyfriend sent him literally the link to his Instagram and everything. He was like, when I see you, I'm gonna violate you. And I don't know if it's because my boyfriend was in the military or because he was like a big nigga that scared him. But he was just like, yeah, no, I don't want no parts of that. And something I forgot to mention earlier on when I was talking to him in high school was that he would always ask me to like link him at his house. Mind you, this man lived with his parents. He lived with both of his parents in Canarsie. Like, why do you want me to come link you at your parents' house? First of all, you're 27 living with your parents, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being however old you are and living with your parents. But the fact is, you're trying to make yourself seem big and like you got something going on for yourself, and you live with your parents and you want me to come link you. What parent in their right mind would see their old grown at his big age son being with a girl much younger than him and be like, oh, okay, that's no problem? Like, what is wrong with you? What are you, is there a screw loose? Like, what's going on with you? I don't understand. So that was the end of that story. But I say all of this to say, like, I think I have one more of these stories left, but my lesson in all these stories is please, 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 for the love of God, if you are a younger girl, if you are younger, if you're less than 18 and a guy approaches you and he's 5 years older than you, 3 years older than you, you run, and you run quickly, because they don't want anything from you except your cootie cat. They don't want anything from you except your cootie cat. And I thank God, oh bashaka, I never gave up nothing. I was stingy with my cootie cat.
Cause I send you my cootie cat. What? Send you my cootie cat.
Always. So I never gave up anything. I never did anything with these guys that I ended up in these situations with. But I know that a lot of people are not fortunate enough to have the good sense to like just be like, oh no, I'm not gonna do that. Because as soon as you do something like that, the situation only escalates. For one, they could probably leave you, ghost you, and emotionally abuse you. Or two, they could keep staying with you and literally have a emotional and mental grip on you. You don't want that. You never want to deal with something like that, because then it becomes emotional abuse. Just take it from me. If a guy much older than you approaches you and says he's interested in you, he is not interested in you, bro. I don't care how cute you are. My camera stopped. I don't care how cute you are. I don't care how developed your body is. I don't care how mature you are for your age. If a guy much older than you approaches you and he's like, oh yeah, I really like you. I think you're mature for your age, or this, or that. Oh, queen. He's lying. He's lying, and he's feeding you nonsense. He is lying, and you run. You run quickly, because God didn't give you the good sense to make sound decisions. I'm telling you. Just take it from me. Like, you, and also, if you didn't know, I have a degree in neuroscience and psychology, and the brain is literally not fully developed to make appropriate frontal cortex decisions until you're 25. That means judgments, decision making, anything that comes to making any moral compass decisions. You're not fully capable of doing anything like that until you're 25. And so all of y'all that are 15, 16, messing with these guys that are 26, 27, you need to stop it. You need to stop it. Because if your mama don't whoop your ass, I will.
Hashtag speaking from the heart, B Fletcher.
Just like, I know my stories are like funny and stuff like that, but I really want y'all to learn from these stories in particular, because I don't have a little sister, but a lot of y'all I see as my little sisters, because y'all be in my inbox like, oh my God, I love your stories. Thank you so much for helping me and giving me, like, you know, the tools that I need to make the right decisions to navigate my life. And I really appreciate y'all coming to me like that. But at the same time, I really need y'all to understand that this is not a game. This is not a game. You could end up in a serious predicament if you do not stop what you're doing right now. Seriously. That is the end of my video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Follow me on all my socials. That's Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. That is in the description and also in the outro. Follow. Hold on. That's not how we go. Call me, beat me if you wanna reach me. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.
Shout out to everybody. I had fun.